Alright, we got that started. Welcome back, Team DWC. It's your boy TWP Popcorn. You already know what time it is. 10 a.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. Sundays, 6 p.m. Wednesdays, aka another day in paradise. For those that are new, go ahead, hit the like button, then subscribe, and then leave a comment afterwards, get yourself programmed with your own algorithm. Let the computers know, hey, I like this content, so show me more of it, right? Because, hey, they ain't going to do it for you. You got to let them know what you want. Yeah, I like this guy. He's popcorn. Sometimes he's cool. Sometimes he's that dude. Love how that just goes right there at the end of the intro. But y'all know how we going to do today. We got some more videos to review. So y'all already know. Roll up, scroll up, and get ready to chill because we finna go through it. Y'all know to go check out the Buy Me a Coffee. Shout out to the Buy Me a Coffee link. Y'all know how that go. Put that in there first. Needed to repin my Yokin affiliate link. Shout out to the Yokin sales because y'all already know we getting into 2024 and we definitely getting up on our sales for the companies we're currently selling for. So shout out to Yokin and W because they have affiliate links and programs for y'all, so y'all can go get y'all some money too. I ain't just gonna try to hog it all to myself. I'm gonna tell y'all what I'm doing. That way y'all can try to imitate. Shout out to the Buy Me a Coffee because we was already talking about that too. So we gonna go ahead and get that in the link because I know y'all appreciate that. Being able to monetize your content on YouTube from day one, that's beneficial to anybody, you dig? Or whatever platform you on. Just drop your Buy Me a Coffee link, and just like whenever you over here on Rumble, here goes the official Buy Me a Coffee that we was talking about. Y'all know to slide over here, become one of these supporters. Shouts out to Amy, Izzy, the J Jordan, Melinda Elliott. Jay Jordan be over there a lot because he's a good supporter on Buy Me a Coffee. He appreciates that because he also has his set up. So of course he comes through and shows me support on mine. But y'all know to go support both of us because we both doing our things. Especially if you need somebody to work out with. The Jay got you covered. And then of course y'all know every video I record. And when I go live, I usually do my studio quality over for Rumble. So y'all know to go check the Rumble to see the studio quality of the videos and enjoy it over there also, right? It's almost the same video, but it's different. And plus you get to see me the full time on screen. Shout out to being on screen full time over there because, I be having to flippity flop on YouTube sometimes. But it's still a good show, so y'all enjoy it. Hell, if not, I don't know what they doing over here. They wild these days. They moving wild. But anyways, let's see. Let's get to rolling up. Because we already done discussed the Rumble. Y'all know to go check out the website. Shouts out to the website, the teamdwc.info. And we got multiple pages with content over there and all types of stuff for you. So, go check it out and you'll find out, right? But anyways, let's get into our W sponsored video. Shout out to W because they still sponsoring me too. But they got their new solo leveling collaboration with Crunchyroll. So y'all know to go check out the new W energy drinks inspired by solo leveling. They got 2 new flavors and 4 new fucking tumblers. Shouts out to the tumblers. Go pick them up, right? Get y'all some of that merch if y'all like it. Y'all know we got the video reviews for season 2 so far, solo leveling, done with a collaboration and review of Sensei. Shout out to the big homie Sensei. Y'all know he going through his things. So if you can help support him too. Hell, I ain't gonna be a hater. I'm gonna be a relater. I can relate y'all to what you need to be supporting. There you go. But anyways, let's get into our video list for the day because I'm part of it. So I'm trying to get me some shine on me too. Shouts out to the Me Too Shine movement. Of course, I got a J. Shouts out to my garden consultation I was doing yesterday because hell, I was out there putting in work. What they talk about, fire in the hole. You know, it's 420 somewhere. Get it in.
Pick a strain, whatever you want, you can get. Indica sativa, never rolling plain Jane. I know some people, if you want, drop 50, we ain't gon' cop any. Little mama got plenty, so many strain, puffin' the flame, nothing but dro. One for the brain, one for the body, one for the soul. Running with strange, putting the party under control. Up, away, flying, how far are we gonna go? Smoke team in the building, got 'em is what the deal is. Recognize coming with Burns, Felix fulfilling County boy, got the liquor. Casa was on the fader, Stevie came with the greenery, mixing multiple flavors, whatever you want, homie. Tell me when to say when. How about you and your friends? Come get with me and my friends and keep it real with me, girl. I don't want to pretend like this is a new thing. Really, that's what it's been like. Jamal. VPN.
You want to play with me today, huh? Computer on that BS. Y'all already know this is actually one of my first videos. He said, you try to wake me up, just put the blood in my face. There's guaranteed results right there. Quit playing with What's poppin', Team TWC Romies, TWP Popcorn, same as my Instagram. Don't forget to YouTube search Team DWC for my full Deepwater Culture how-to videos playlist. Posting schedule is going to be Wednesdays at 6 p.m., Saturdays and Sunday at 10 a.m. with a 6 p.m. option. I'll probably be going live once we get our subscriber count up. So go ahead and make sure you put me in those people's hands that need to hear what I have to say about growing. Any content creators, go ahead, leave a like and a comment on the page. First one that likes and comments on the video, I usually pin to the top so I can help you get 5 of my subscribers. making them available to you. You do me a favor, I do you a favor. So, today's what to bring to the smoke session video is going to include a couple clips, and I hope y'all enjoy them.
Hey man, get that car fixed, you know? 12 o'clock. Alright. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Look at this little ass bag of fucking weed. Yes, Lord. Woo. Damn. No cigar? No! Fuck, bitch! Got blood? Got weed? Man, that shit smell good as hell, dog. I'm Jamal. Hey. So you trying to get something to bring them nerves down too, huh, bro? Yeah, I think if I study high, take the test high, get high scores. Right? Right.
Right.
Look at that car. What's up, Pop?
What up, bro?
Take that, son.
Appreciate you stopping by. Shout out to our video sponsor, son of the ODC company. At the end of yesterday's video, I had did some more germination because, you know, gotta get some more shit started. Yeah. Gotta keep them popping, right?
That's the ivory.
I'm gonna go check that out on Rumble or YouTube, whichever way you prefer to view the videos.
What the fuck is going on? Ain't you supposed to be dead? I am dead, but this is what happens when you smoke your boy. Holy shit. Man, let me try that. Silence, relax. Now, can we talk about this back in your car? Look, I know how you can get high scores.
I said, I know how you can get these high scores, B.
I'm a ghost.
That nigga talk about I'm a ghost.
Nephew, you got perfect time. About to start a little puff give in this motherfucker. You down?
Why don't you come on, sit next to your auntie?
I know you can smoke a little weed, right?
Why you say that?
Cause your lips turning black.
Would you like some wine, baby?
No, thanks.
Well, how about a little cognac?
Oh, it's kind of early.
Shit, I can roll a blunt better than bitches in a van. Now, I know Willie don't let you smoke in his eye. But I'm your Uncle Elroy. I don't give a damn how high you get in mine. As long as you let me hit it. Look at that.
Fire that shit up, boy.
I'm about to show y'all who the real Puff Daddy is.
He said who the real puppy is. What do you say?
Yes, the Bombay.
That shit gas. Choking the fuck up out of everybody.
Think they really went to the moon.
They say they went to the moon.
Said ain't no gravity up there. That mean we can get high and never come down.
What numbers did you pick?
The original hunt picked 6 numbers. She used a weight, I think.
God damn. I know why you got her now.
Shout out to my favorite cousin. Her black ass.
Alright, Team TWC. So what all we need to bring to a session depends on who the session is with, what all we need to bring. Hell, you can get lucky and just walk into somebody already rolling up, which happens a lot for some people. Some people it doesn't. Either way it goes. You can just be lucky enough to just be walking in and end up getting access to somebody else's smoke session depending on where you is and who they are. Some people ain't just gonna let you walk in their smoke session with just lips, no matter how your lips look. In case you think you one of these fine females who I can just hop in your smoke session because I'm cute. I'll be passing my blunt back and forth to myself if it was just me. Yeah. But anyways, one of the main things you want to bring to a smoke session is the vibe. If people in the smoke session was angry, you don't end up being angry because what they're going to be talking about is angry. So you're just going to have to match your energy to whoever you're smoking with energy. And if their energy ain't going in the right direction, then you yourself need to leave that to where you would want it to be versus where they got it. Now, they might be a little angry with you at first for changing their whole vibe. But if you know how to control somebody else's energy, it's up to you to do it when they're not going the direction you need them to be going. So, including in my vibe, entourage, and the effect scene, we don't go straight into music and conversation. If you are smoking by yourself, you definitely want to have you some music going. If you're smoking with other people, you want to have music going, maybe, unless there's a decent conversation going. See, with the conversation, they're going to be talking about whatever they want to talk about, and you either take part or don't take part, but you still sit there, chill, and smoke. Great move on the player's side, because, you know, smoking is going to get you through there, because that's what you're there to do anyways. They can jabber jaw your ear off, and you ain't even got to listen. Yeah, that's crazy. So the next thing we're going to talk about is going to be wraps, blunts, or papers. Depends on who you're smoking with, how you smoke. You see what I'm saying? You might also want to look into a personal bowl or a bong, maybe even the hookah. I got a hookah in there. It's got the little fire guy from Super Mario, little fireball. Boom. A tray or something to roll on. That's a good one on my list. I got a little list of things that I'm reading from. So if y'all see me looking off to the side, it's not because, you know, I'm high and forgot what I was talking about. It's I'm making sure I stay on topic so we get in and out as fast as we can get y'all done.
Now I don't give a fuck about taking up y'all time. I'm here all day with you. What y'all got? I'm rolling up.
All that good
good shit, because you never know. Your person you smoking with might have a little crust on their lips, so you might want to wipe it off real quick just to keep yourself from having to deal with anything going into your mouth that was off somebody else, which is another reason why they have personal made accessories to carry with oneself for public situations, so you don't have to share with anybody without, you know, putting something to your mouth that you wouldn't want to go on your mouth. But that's only if you're smoking with sus people, and I don't plan on smoking with sus, as in suspect, people. So therefore, the people I'm smoking with, they are about their hygiene and, you know, all that stuff, so you don't have to worry about it. Vaccinations, all that good stuff, they wear their COVID mask. Mine's around here somewhere. Keep that mug on deck. That was during COVID. I did start in 2021. Upgrade to the smoke session is something unique. Wow. If you can roll cross blunts, connected blunts, and you're in a group of people, you're always going to want to bring your talents to the smoke session. It's one of those things that I like to do personally. When I ain't seen somebody in a while, I'll connect the two blunts together. So now the blunt is about this long instead of just about yay long. And that just gives the vibe even more experience to it, because I mean, we're supposed to blunt this long, and it's nice and fat too, so it's going to smoke for a while. We're going to be able to have a nice long conversation, depending on how our time of the day is and what we have going on in our schedules. Now, when I know I'm just going to go hang out with somebody and smoke with them, that's one of those things I like to do, like I said, if I haven't seen them for a while. So that's what we go do, hang out, all that, kicking it.
Costume party, place, level house, time, Friday. It is Friday. Well, that's what she told Coco, buddy. Now, these bitches better be out here getting my money. You know, Yellowback is my bottom bitch. You know that, right? Right. Okay, now the bitch better be out here checking my motherfucking money. Please don't cuss. You know, when I'm trying to listen to the word, no, Lord don't like that. What did I say? You said bitch. You bitch ain't in the Bible. I know, bitch, and neither is motherfucker. So drive this motherfucking car. And you a assistant pimp. You ain't even a real pimp. So you supposed to be co-signing to the shit that I say. You want to lose your job? I'm going to pull your motherfucking application. Now let's practice it. Where's my bitches? Where's my bitches? Where's my bitch? Where's my bitch? You got to say it together. It goes in together. Where my bitch? Where my bitch? Okay, check this out. Okay. Where my bitch? Where my bitch? Can't we just say employees? What about your employees? No, fuck that. Man, I'm going to tell you something. This pimping that I got in my blood, it came from a family tree. My granddaddy was a pimp. My great-great-great-granddaddy was a pimp. I'm talking about pimping, since pimping. It's in your blood, it's in my blood, and you will never be that. Why? Because you was born, all the people in your family were assistant pimps. Pimp, I never denied you that. I thought you was the one the Lord chose. If it had not been for the Lord, I wouldn't have had another bitch come into my life. Not a hell nutter. Nobody said that now nutter like you said that now nutter. Not a nutter bitch. I still don't know what that shit means, but it sounds good. Now nutter means don't get a now nutter. Now nutter. A now nutter out of them. Nutter out of them. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Drive this motherfucker car.
Yeah, that's classic TWP right there, boy. Hey, shout out to the back of the day videos. Y'all know to go hit up the What's Poppin' playlist. It's the first one in there. Get that to 1K views. I appreciate that. that's definitely a doper video of the older videos. Y'all know to go check out the What's Poppin' playlist. Keep it cracking over there. Shout out to the Cultivation channel. Y'all know that we in there doing our own link drops because Nightbot fired me a long time ago. Said they ain't fucking with me. Go check out Big Bro Neo Cannabis though. Y'all know there's some good content over there. Dudes on the path that you should be able to respect. Shout out to Beat After Beat. Y'all know that's a big homie. Go hit his cash app up if you need to help somebody out this week. Make sure you know where to go, right?
And fabulous guests all along the way. Today we got a guest that's going to be talking about some fabulous resources that he's using so that you can help grow your health, business, and your wealth. Today's special guest has a greener thumb than old McDonald himself. The plants that this gentleman grows will make anybody say E-I-E-I-O. Now, when it comes to understanding agriculture, George Washington Carver has reincarnated himself in the form of a man from Missouri. When it comes to growing things, he makes the Jolly Green Giant look like a midget. It's time for today's featured guest, consultant and agriculturalist extraordinaire. This time, sit for TWP.
Hey, welcome back.
Just in, close up to the hand.
Hey, there you go.
Thank you for a great introduction. I'm trying to do what I can do.
All right.
Gotta know how to make an entrance, come in with a close up on the his at, because everybody want to see it.
We got a cool little experiment going on, and we're testing out growing microgreens in sand. Now, I want to try sand because we can reuse it rather quickly, unlike soil, which you can compost, but that'll take months for you to reuse it. Now, if you're one of the hundreds of people who have bought the adapters for our self-watering microgreens, I'm also testing sand with that. So I've got videos coming on that. It's going to be really helpful, but this is where I started. Another cool thing about the sand is I haven't had any problem with fungal gnats. So what we're going to do, plant these out.
What up to Brian Lynn? Appreciate you for stopping through.
It's basically self-watering.
Hopefully you're doing good, smoking good.
And after we cover them up, let them go about 3 or 4 days. After they germinate, remove the cover, set them out in the sun or under some grow lights. Now we're growing pea shoots and bean sprouts with no soil and no nutrients either. Just grew them in a tray like this. That was awesome. You can see we didn't have any algae. And it's really easy to clean up. Now for smaller seeds, trying something like the sand. After you get them sprouted like this, if it's dried out on one side, but you feel the sand is still damp, you don't really have to refill it. When you feel the sand start to dry out, just add a little. Don't want to waterlog it. 7 to 10 days, got you some awesome microgreens. Now let's harvest these. I just got this little takeout tray. I'm gonna put a little paper towel in it. And usually I would just cut these microgreens and put them right in the tray and put them in the refrigerator. They'll last a couple weeks in there. But some people were asking about the sand, kind of like you get on collards. They don't like biting into it. So here's what you can do. Just like you do with a sink full of collard greens, you cut your microgreens into a bowl of water. This way you can swish it around. All of the sand's going to go to the bottom. And you just scoop the microgreens off. Here's some on this side still have the roots on it. We can put this in a bigger container if we want. And I'm just going to save him. Alright, let's get these out of here. And you can use a deeper bowl if you want, like the other one you see sitting in the back. You know, I'm just going to scoop them out with my hands. It'll probably work a little easier if you get a colander, a little strainer, and you can get them all out. I'm just going to get most of them here. This is just for demonstration purposes. But that's what you can do to get the sand off. Microgreens don't have a lot of crevices in them like collards and kale.
Spend
comes
half
off
this
really
video
easy.
scooping that stuff out. Yeah, that's brilliant.
Now you're going to want to use this in a couple of days. Alright, now let's clean out the sand so that we can reuse it. All I do is pull it out of the container. It's really easy. And to me, this looks pretty cool. Check out those roots. Look how nice and white they are. No mold, no algae, no funky stuff. Isn't that neat? Now to clean it up, I'm just going to do it in this bowl here. Rinse out the tray. You can take this inside and wash it if you like. A little soap and water. But you can see how clean it is. No problem, right? Alright, I just squish this all up. I usually harvest about 12 of these at a time, so I use a 5-gallon bucket. And I'll show you that in a little while. I just wanted to show you this here. Notice there's no mold, mildew, no funky stuff going on here. Just nice and clean. Now this we can throw in our compost. Now you just want to swish everything around really good. And all the light stuff's going to float to the top, and all the sand's going to sink to the bottom. Can't do that with soil. And I just dump off the top, right into the garden. Not going to hurt anything. And whatever little bits, seed holes are left, just kind of scoop them out. Now you can do this 2 or 3 times and get everything out, but you can see it wasn't all that hard. And I put all of mine in a big bucket and about a cap full of bleach and let it sit for a day. And then I just tilt it sideways like this, just like we did the bowl. Just about everything comes out. So you can see after a couple of rinses, really clean. Then I just let it sit in the sun for a couple of days, ready to go again. So obviously we're not going to get all of the sand back, so sooner or later we will have to buy some more. But this is pretty good, just reusing this much over and over and over again. So I just set everything back up and repeat the process. This is the same sand I used on the first round. Now on another round. This is tot soy, by the way. So I hope that helps. Like I said, we're trying this with the self-watering adapters. We're going to do some videos and set it up for you guys from start to finish so you understand how to do it. The clay pebbles still work. I still use those, but the sand is so easy to clean. Now the only drawback I can see so far is it's kind of heavy. So you don't want real big containers. We'll get into that. Right now, you guys Live to inspire, keep on growing, be the change. We'll catch you next time.
Shouts out to Microgreens. He says, "Welcome to the Sand Village." Shout out to Sand Village people. Shout out to Melinda Elliott for being a level 2 Buy Me a Coffee member. Shouts out to her. Y'all know we appreciate that.
So this is day 3 of the KOV challenge. So one of the things that we're supposed to do is ask a question, and one of the questions I'm interested in is, what do you think about my channel? When I started this channel, I started it, well, for me, I'm a type A personality and I needed to relax. I have some disabilities that are related to stress, and it seems like people like them and watch them. But you guys tell me what you think. Bye.
Yeah. So like Fox Farms though, like I noticed like, so if you're going to plant in some Fox Farms ocean forest, per se, you plant a plant in there and you veg it out for like 2 months and you get that plant monstrous and you're ready to flip it into flower. Now you have to add amendments to there because there's nothing left in it to...
Back up just a little bit. When you say you planted it for a couple months and it took off monstrous, do you know what's in that mix that makes that plant grow?
Synthetic salts.
It's pretty much what it is, but it's ammonium nitrate. So they spray this ammonium nitrate on sawdust, and that ammonium nitrate is like, it's like acid on a fucking slug. So think of the organic and biology that's in there. It's killing. They put that on there. You can throw a pile of that. It's called nitralized sawdust, is what the industry calls it, as an amendment to mix it, and that's what they buy. Roots Organic, a bunch of them do that as an amendment, and that's their nitrogen pack. And then they tell you they put a bunch of guanos and they do other stuff. They don't put shit on it. That's what it is, and that's the reason. The difference between a good quality soil and them, and you just explained it, is it shot up and it grew some veg and it did really well. But the thing it's missing is that now, like if you grew in my soil or some good soil, it's not always my soil, but the difference between mine, you're asking me, and Fox Farm and all the case studies, Fox Farm with ammonium nitrate in the soil, that plant will shoot up really quick. It grows quick. And it's for tomato plants, you call it tomatoes, we'll just do tomato, but the same thing with tomato and cultivar, is it shoots up really quick, and it puts off a few tomatoes, and the wind comes and that plant has no structure, and it falls over, and it's lanky, right? Yes. My soil versus the same tomato plant, you got a fucking heavy stalk, you got this plant that just fucking sits up and does its thing, and it's putting off tomatoes, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the difference. And why does mine do that? Because I have a living soil concept behind it. I want you to grow with bacteria. I want you to grow with fungi. I want you to do everything that is healthy in that plant. The last thing you want to do is feed ammonium nitrates in a tomato to your kids at the dinner table.
Shout out to Pat, though. He'll be coming up for our 420 here in KC. KC Mo, because, you know, we ain't definitely not in Kansas. We're definitely not in Kansas anymore, fucking Dorothy. Anyways, yeah, he'll be coming up here for the 420 celebration on the 18th, 19th, and 20th. Shout out to the 420 being on a Sunday. Y'all know what time it is. You know, it'll be another day in paradise, so hopefully we'll be at the interaction, you know, tweaking with the dudes. We'll be out there smoking it, chilling, kicking it, putting in some work. You know, I'll definitely be out there networking. Hell, talking to Pat about what we got going on. Let him know if, you know, we might be working on a high-level collaboration. You never know what we do. It's Team TWC out here in these streets. But you dig? Hell, I ain't afraid to get in some soil and get my hands dirty. You dig? You be playing with some mud sometimes. But hey, it be like that.
once you know kind of, you know. So.
Which parent are you? In the bustling city of Nutriville, a group of extraordinary individuals has emerged, known far and wide as the superfood parents. They are on a mission to transform their families' lives through the power of nutrition, one delicious bite at a time. Meet Chef Lakita Marie, the culinary mastermind behind the Superfood Parents Playbook. With boundless enthusiasm, she welcomes you to embark on a thrilling journey to becoming a true superfood hero. But what exactly does that mean? In Nutriville, superfood parents are everyday heroes. These superfood parents lead the charge for better health, but not with capes. They lead with carrots, and whole food fats like avocados. And instead of masks, they lead with mangoes and berries. Fruits and vegetables are the disease-destroying arsenal of heroes. Are you a disease-destroyer superhero for your loved ones? Fruits and veggies fuel the mission of heroes like Veggie Vixen. Are you a Veggie Vixen for your loved ones? Dedicated to ensuring their loved ones thrive on a diet rich in faves, fruits and vegetables. Here's your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to guide your family to superhero status by reaching the highest levels of health and wellness daily. Become a plant-powered titan, a superfood avenger, or even a face crusader by earning 5 points for every food or vegetable eaten. It's a fun-filled quest where nutrition meets excitement. All of the digital details are at superfoodparents.com for the full experience. Superfood Parents has also created workbooks, where you'll discover the tools you need for success. These workbooks give you the heroic strategies to craft your grocery list like a seasoned hero. Which means you now have a playbook to even track your weekly meals like a true champion. And engage in mind-bending nutritional education with word searches that will keep your family entertained and informed. So, are you ready to join the ranks of the superfood parents? Are you prepared to unleash the power of face and make every meal a heroic endeavor? If so, flip the page of the Superfood Playbook and let's begin your journey to becoming the ultimate superfood hero.
To become a sponsor, just visit superfoodparents.com.
What the failure of Florida's Amendment 3 means for cannabis legalization. In a major defeat for cannabis legalization, Florida voters have rejected Amendment 3, which would have legalized recreational marijuana for adults 21 and older. The amendment, which failed to get the 60% voter support it needed to pass, could have been the start of a new green wave across the country. The Sunshine State is already home to the country's largest medical marijuana market, $2 billion in annual sales. But it missed...
Damn, Danielle, $2 billion in annual sales. So today we're going to have a look at what all this means. The failure of Florida's Amendment 3, what does that mean for cannabis legalization, especially in Florida when it comes to the recreational use for adults. Now, I'm going to have a look at this and sort of react to what was done behind the scenes, a few things that have come to light since, and see where things may be likely to go in the future, and see what you guys think about it as well. But before we get into that, if you guys do get any value from this video or enjoy this series, please do like, share, comment, drop a comment down below. These things really help out a lot. And of course, subscribe to the channel. And without further ado, let's get straight on into it.
It's the opportunity to become the first red state in the South to launch an adult use market. Florida, which has a population of 20 million people and attracts more than 140 million tourists every year.
140 million tourists every year. Like, you can imagine how, like, that could cause a lot of booming in the industry. Like, a lot of people could come for the canna culture. I'm just thinking out loud here, but let's go.
Is expected to swell to a $6 billion cannabis market by 2026 if Amendment 3 passed, according to marijuana sales data firm Headset. Voters will have to wait another 2 years before cannabis can get back on the ballot. The amendment received more than 57% of the vote, a strong majority, but not enough to surpass the 60% threshold required in the state of Florida.
Okay.
It even had the backing of former President and now President-elect Donald Trump. The night's biggest loser is Tallahassee-based TrueLeave, which spent $145 million backing Smart and Safe Florida.
$145 million down the drain. That is absolutely crazy, and I do remember Trump was talking about that, and I think he actually tweeted about it, or was it on Truth Social or something? I don't know. He wrote a post about it saying that he completely backed it, but it just did not pass. Let's find out why.
Organization running the Yes on 3 campaign. The campaign raised a total of $153 million, according to campaign contribution data from the Florida Department of State Division of Elections. The night's biggest winner is Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who had declared war on the cannabis ballot measure and spent an estimated $50 million of taxpayer money on radio and television ads to successfully convince enough voters to vote no.
Bro, that is crazy. The amount of money that they spent against this initiative is absolutely crazy. $50 million of taxpayer money was spent on ads to convince people to vote against Amendment 3. Wowed. They're definitely trying to keep you going.
That's definitely mad work right there. 50 million, knowing that's just crazy. It's straight up BS. Straight up menace to society, to the government, right?
To Big Pharma, keep you in Big Pharma's pockets, line in their pockets, make them happy. I mean, I understand you don't want everywhere to smell like flour and smell like weed. Okay, I get it. But also, using taxpayers' money to sway their thoughts or sway the way they vote on a certain measure is pretty crazy. I understand it's been happening for years. Heck, it happens every election. It happens around every local election. Federal election happens all the time in elections all over the world. But I still think it's absolutely crazy. But $50 million spent on, by Ron DeSantis, $50 million of taxpayers' money spent on ads against this
television ads to successfully convince enough voters to vote no. Ken Griffin, the hedge fund billionaire who
I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's funny. This video's at 421 likes.
moved his firm Citadel to Miami from Chicago in 2022, had also come out against legalization. Griffin, a Florida resident, donated $12 million to the Vote No on 3 campaign. And in an op-ed published in the Miami Herald to the Vote No on 3 campaign. Griffin, a Florida resident, donated $12 million to the Vote No on 3 campaign.
$12 million to the Vote No on 3 campaign. So the Vote No on 3, they make everything catchy. Vote No on 3. Vote No on 3. Amendment 3 sucks. Make sure you, they do some rhyming shit or whatever, but $12 million, a resident of Florida, this guy, obviously got fat pockets to donate 12 million bags, but the point is, a lot of the people who actually consume and use flour for medical reasons, they're not the millionaires, they're not the billionaires, they're not those people. A lot of them are the people who cannot afford traditional medicine. They cannot afford going to the doctor and getting these drugs from the pharmacy that cost so much. So it's pretty interesting that a lot of these people are spending so much money against these ads to say Vote No on 3, etc., 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 when it's probably just going to hurt the smaller, law-abiding, tax-paying citizen. Interesting point. Something I'm just thinking about right now looking at this.
$12 million to the Vote No on 3 campaign. And in an op-ed published in the Miami Herald earlier this year, Griffin cautioned voters not to repeat the mistakes of states like California, Colorado, and New York, all of which have legalized recreational cannabis. Griffin wrote, quote,
How you doing, Astro?
"No one wants
Good
the
to
effects
see
of widespread legalization
Hopefully
of marijuana,
you're doing good. Have a good
skyrocketing
day.
crime, suffering among children, a decline in the quality of life in Florida's
Cinematic
vibrant neighborhoods,
premieres on
but Amendment 3 would make it inevitable.
upcoming
Now that's something I
posts.
literally disagree with. Like, yes, Colorado,
Lacking
California, New
control.
York,
I
all
see
blue
the
states all
side
have
notes.
legalized recreational cannabis, but there are also red states that have legalized recreational cannabis. And I personally don't think that recreational cannabis
Excuse me.
is tied to widespread skyrocketing in crime, suffering in children, or a decline in the quality of your vibrant neighborhoods. I personally don't think that. I think that everything needs to be regulated to some point so that it does not fall into the hands of children, absolutely. But is it linked to skyrocketing crime? I definitely don't think so. I think in these places like Cali, out here in Colorado, the fact that they are not prosecuting crimes when they occur is what leads to skyrocketing crime. The fact that there were all types of open borders, unvetted people coming in, or lots of different things lead to skyrocketing crime. Not the fact that people are recreationally smoking in their homes. Like, I'm about to blaze something up after the show, but am I going to go and commit a crime after that?
Brady
Sitting on the
Cobb,
front
the son
porch.
of one of Florida's most prolific pot smugglers of the 1980s, who started his own legal marijuana company called Sunburn Cannabis in 2021, calls the failure of Amendment 3 a big blow to the state's marijuana economy and the national momentum of legalization. Cobb, whose company generated $30 million in revenue this year from its 13 medical marijuana dispensaries.
Bro, $13 million. Is it $30 million? Guys, you cannot tell me that the cannabis industry is not booming. You cannot tell me that there's not potential in this, even if it's legalized at a federal level, for the government to tax it as they do with everything else and make money off of it. Like, there's too many benefits to it. You know, aside from the health benefits, the fact that people would not be put in jail for low-level petty offenses when they are literally legal in other states within the U.S. So in one state something is illegal, but in another states it's legal. I know that's how things go. I get it, but you can't tell me that there's not profit in this.
The company generated $30 million in revenue this year from its 13 medical marijuana dispensaries.
This company was set up in 2021 and it generated $13 million. I keep saying 13. $30 million from its 13 dispensaries. And it was set up in 2021.
It says, quote,
let that sink in.
Politically, it's a bad moment. This is going backwards. This is going to be very negative by the whole industry.
They
Shanita
siphon you
Penny,
all into
the
one
co-executive
location. What up,
director of
Sue?
the Coalition for Cannabis
Good to
Policy,
see you. You gotta know to go
Education
check out
and
the Bud
Regulation,
Files every day.
says the failure of Amendment 3
Sue and the
will,
fans
quote,
got something for
signal
you.
a slowdown in the momentum of legalization. She says, quote, we will continue to see the illicit market control this space. Emily Paxia, the co-founder of San Francisco-based cannabis hedge fund.
Truth is, I don't even think the illicit market will control this space. I think that in states where home grows are legal, where it is you're medically able to grow, people will just grow. And in places where it's not legal, people will still just grow. You know, that's the truth about it. People grow regardless. Once you get into growing, you're probably not going to hit up the illicit market unless you run out of your homegrown. And that's just the truth about it. So I definitely think that this is hurting more than it's helping the industry. All these efforts that they put out, all the money spent to block Amendment 3, really sad to see.
Which has invested in many companies with a large presence in the state, says she is not downtrodden. The companies operating in the nation's $30 billion economy spread across 38 states have grown accustomed to roadblocks while operating in an industry that is still federally illegal. She says, quote, the industry is used to getting knocked down. We will keep standing back up.
Hell yeah.
Despite the defeat of Amendment 3, Paxia believes there is hope on the horizon. A lawsuit filed by legendary litigator David Boies and other attorneys at Boies, Schiller, Flexner is still in play. The lawsuit against Attorney General Merrick Garland, on behalf of several cannabis companies in Massachusetts, is seeking to challenge the federal prohibition of marijuana and the government's ability to interfere with state-regulated cannabis programs. For full coverage, check out Will Yakowitz's piece on Forbes.com.
Interesting. So again, I think that this is just signaling where things are going to go and how long it'll actually take before things become federally legal, because there's still a lot of people, powerful figures, that do not want to see this federally legal. Obviously, it will cause a lot of financial strain to the big pharma if this becomes federally legal, because you'll no longer have to go to the pharmacies to get all these expensive drugs that cost pennies on the dollar to produce, and they charge you so much for. So they definitely have a lot of incentive in it for these folks. So I think that we just need to keep on pushing, because as they just said, it's still an illegal, federally illegal industry which we're operating in. But despite that, it's a billion-dollar industry, multi-billion-dollar, operating across 38 states, and soon to be more, hopefully. So let's keep on pushing. But I want to find out what you guys think about that. Drop it in the comments down below. What do you think about Florida's failed Amendment 3 bid? I personally think it would have probably been a good thing. A lot of people did cite some negatives with Amendment 3, saying that it will just put the cannabis plant into the hands of some of the big companies. I don't know, but let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comments down below. And if you guys want to find out more about what's going on in the industry, in particular when it comes to your 2A rights and medical marijuana cards, then click this video coming up on screen, because that's coming up right now.
But we already know the truth. Not one company gonna manage over time, though. You can put it in a few companies' hands, but then you can take down those companies also. Shouts out to the motherfucking take down of everybody. Hell, they taking down anybody these days. So just because it was in a position to where these big companies was running shit, don't mean you can't come in and punish a big company. Shouts out to the Punisher.
You ain't even against no more. I told you we're gonna bring you in quarterly to make sure all our investments are depart. Get some insider information. That's illegal. I mean, we're gonna get some tips and some pointers. Yeah, no insider. No, they lock Martha Stewart up for that. White women can't get away with it. Nobody can.
What'd she say?
She had some friends who told her some shit one night at a party, and she moved some money around, and she wasn't supposed to do that.
Yeah, right.
Just lose the money like everybody. But I made more money after that too. She went crazy. I love her, bro. She's so freaky. What? How you know? She's freaky though. You didn't see the post where she was talking about how they came and installed her pool. Oh, this shit legendary. It don't sound nothing like no goddamn.
So it don't sound like they talking about nothing about installing the pool.
This is the most expensive cannabis
See why
farm
Snoop
currently on the
collab with her,
market
huh?
in the United States, located in Salinas, California.
I'm Susan Massa Thomas. I'm a realtor. I specialize in the cannabis industry all over California. California, we have the most amazing climate to be able to grow. And when you are in Salinas Valley, for instance, we have the perfect climate to grow from first to, obviously you're seeing this flowering, beautiful cannabis property, to lettuce, grapes. It's just a variety. It's an amazing area to actually, climate here is perfect.
Come on now, stop chopping me up for the day.
For the growing all year round.
Northern California has emerged as a leader in the industry, and when I saw this property was on the market, I had to come up here and talk to the owner and see what it takes to operate a cannabis farm on this scale. So in this week's video, we're going to tour this state legal 10.5 acre cannabis farm that is being currently marketed as an off-market listing for $80 million. We've never done anything like this on this channel ever before. Let's get started. Alright everyone, so we have Brian here, who is the developer and the owner of this amazing farm. First off, thank you for having us here.
Thank you for coming.
This is super cool. So we're looking at a 10-acre farm. There's a lot to see here. Can you give us a brief overview of this place?
Sure, as you just pointed out, it's actually a 10.5 acre site, but we've got 4 fully permitted, fully functioning greenhouses here. They are light assisted, so we have light deprivation, we have curtains and such, but what's kind of unique about this farm is that we also have sodium lights that assist with growing the product for quality. right? So we've got a processing facility here. We've got where we cure and dry the product. We've got all of our fire suppression and storage tanks for water. This basically is one of the, I would call it not the highest tech in the business, but for light deprivation and light assist, this is sort of the high end of the market, what you're going to find for this kind of product.
So Brian, when you look at this place from the bird's eye view, you see all these different greenhouses. Can you explain to our audience what each one of these greenhouses do?
Particularly on our site, we have one greenhouse in the back that's facility A. We dedicated that just to a nursery. So we bring in clones from an outside facility. We decided with our nursery that we weren't going to be doing cuts here because, just for everybody else, if you don't know what a cut is, it's the start of a plant. So we bring in clones from an outside source. We vegetate them in the nursery until they're called teenagers, which they're about waist high, and then we transition them into our flowering houses. So we have 3 flowering houses here. Each one of these houses is 44,000 square feet. And inside the flowering houses, that's where I spoke earlier about the light assist, where we have the sodium lights to help at post-vegetation to help them assist in flowering.
For the healthy growth.
Correct. So what we'll do today is we'll walk you through the nursery, show you the process, talk about how many plants are here, talk about perpetual harvesting, which is what we do here, and walk you through the process of where the plant goes from clone all the way through flowering. So you're standing inside of what we have turned into our nursery. And a lot of people traditionally with the nursery, they would say, okay, we're growing from, they're taking cuts of plants and making the seedlings for us. No, we chose not to go that route. What we did was we said, we're going to be the most efficient here in the marketplace now because it's more developed. People have great genetics, and our partner in genetics has wonderful plants. So we've chosen to go the path of bringing in their clones, and we nurture them in here. So we veg them in here until they're teenagers, which is, like I said, get them to about waist high. And we're in a perpetual harvest mode. So what you see here is basically, if you count the bays, bay meaning these peaks. Yeah, so there's 3.5 bays in here, which means this is 3.5 weeks of rotation in front of you.
Gotcha.
Okay, so they're constantly pulling. So once these get up, and you'll notice there's kind of a smooth taper from the front of the house to the back of the house.
It's like being high.
Correct. What this does for us is not only saves in labor costs because we're not processing one entire greenhouse at a time, but it allows us to put more plants in the greenhouses, less labor cost, and a higher output level.
Gotcha. So create a really nice circulation basically from one greenhouse to another.
Correct. So you will see when we move on to the other greenhouses, you'll see this tapering effect is more graduated in there because you can actually really see where plants are in the cycle.
Gotcha.
Right.
Brian, I need you to explain to our audience, how does the cannabis plant start? There's obviously 2 ways, either seed or a clone. So can you briefly explain what seed and clone stands for?
A seed is a seed, right? And genetically speaking, people don't really use seeds anymore. They use cuts, right? They take a shaving off of a plant and they put it under, it's under light that they nurture these. So clone is a
Y'all seen I just rolled up like 10 blunts. Smoking number 10. Yeah, let's get back to it.
A small 2-inch plant.
It's a good tour.
Okay, that's got a little root system on it, so they wait for it to root ball, and then they transplant them when they come up. They come up in large trays. They have a delivery today, but they come up in large trays, and there's a tray base right there if you wanted to get a look at it. But they come up in large trays. Once their root balls formed, we'll transplant them into the pots, the 3-gallon pot.
Gotcha. So you water them, put nutrition in these pots, and you articulate the lighting here, whether it's during the day and at night, and the circulation, to really give them the best environment possible for these plants to grow, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm sweating in here a little bit because you notice it's a little bit more humid in here. As we move along to the other greenhouses, young plants in vegetative state want a nice humid environment. That's what they really like. You don't want to have 50 or 60% humidity when you're flowering plants. That would create a moldy environment. So we're always fighting to keep the humidity down in the flowering chambers in the greenhouses and humidity higher in here. If you want to see here, if we move along, and you can see now these have just been transplanted. So you see how small these plants are. And just in 2 weeks, you can notice the difference between what a baby looks like and what a small plant that's, none of the regenerative state yet, but these are still vegetating. How fast these plants grow. You've seen the nursery now. Let's move on to one of the flowering houses and see the next stage in the growth process. Left the nursery, and we were talking about the plants in the various stages of coming through the clone, through the vegetative state. You're now seeing the ones that have been transplanted here. You'll notice that, again, they're just about waist high. We're talking about they have a filled-in date, a flowering date, and a harvest date on each one of these signs. So as you walk along, you can tell what stage of the process they're in. When you look further into the greenhouse, you'll see that in the next 2 weeks, these plants are going to be as tall as those are over there in flowering. So as we walk down there, and as you'll see that, it's hard to believe, but what 2 weeks will do to these plants.
Brian, I've been seeing these labels throughout these plants. Can you tell me a bit about them?
Well, actually, that's a metric tag, and that's what the California system uses for track and trace from, they call it seed to sale, whether it be a clone to the shop. But so each one of these plants is individually tagged as it comes into the nursery, as it moves through the process, so that the state and the county can come in at any time and see how many plants are associated with this license in this area. And then once we go to hang, cure, dry, and ultimately trim, buck and trim the product, it stays with it the whole way, so they can actually test our outputs, right? So they'll know from this many plants, this much material came out, and I think that there's not only a performance basis for that, but there's also what you were talking about with black market. It's like, okay, if we were black marketing here and every other farm was getting 30% of their product was finished goods, and ours was at 10%, they might be able to say, hey, something's a little different about it. Either you're not doing a good process here, you're not making good money, or you might be doing something nefarious, which we do not do here.
Gotcha. Amazing. Brian, another thing I wanted to ask you is the licensing process for a farm this size. I see all these barcodes, I see different kind of license numbers throughout. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's correct. There's multiple licenses per greenhouse. So the state of California allows you 11,000 square feet of cultivation per license. Okay. So this particular facility has 14 cultivation licenses. Okay. It has a distribution permit, and it has a nursery permit. So each one of those allows us to have these bays, as I told you. There's 3.5 licenses per greenhouse. Okay. So as you see, the metric tags tied to the license.
3 different licenses per greenhouse. God
the
damn.
goods we output them here.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, cannabis industry has this bad stigma about being this sketchy business, but coming here, just hearing the amount of regulations, permitting you have to go through, and how streamlined this entire process is, I mean, it's really impressive. It's kind of shocking. We've been asking you questions throughout the day, but it's just shocking to me that how advanced this industry has been and how little people actually know.
The difficulty of all those things, that's not even running the business and operating the business. You see how clean things are here and how much work goes into keeping this facility at this level, right? If you had to talk about just the regulatory environment, it's like it almost is dizzying to think you actually have to run a business on top of all those things.
Exactly.
So what you're seeing here is these plants are about their 3rd week of flowering. They have about 3 weeks to go before they're clipped, but just go ahead and touch them and you can feel how tacky they are and that they're really, the structure of these are really nice.
Wow.
No powdery mildew, no mold. This environment's really set well, especially with the climate as we have today. It's a beautiful day in Northern California, but this is a good example of where plants are from when we're coming through the nursery, through the veg state, and now to the flowering stage prior to, like I said, about 2 to 3 weeks for finishing on these plants here.
And why do we have these screens throughout the plants?
The trellising's here really for structure, right? Because you see how many, if you look at the system of the stems coming up here, you want to have stability for them to grow through. So this is like training them to stay inside of that. So, you know, we want support for the stems. You don't want them falling over, right, and breaking the branches. So that's really what it's really about.
All right, Brian, so we saw the first stage, we saw the second stage. Can you take us to the third stage?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Okay, we're now in the final stages of the greenhouse that's flowering, and these plants have about 1 to 2 weeks in this cycle here left. And you'll see down these greenhouses that they're thinning out the fan leaves to make sure that the optimal conditions for the sun drenches down to the bottom of the plants. And you know, we're preparing these for harvest, so they'll come and they'll clip all the bottoms off of this, and then we'll go hang them in our drying facility and curing facility.
Tell me why the fans are running kind of faster and higher output here, other than the, I mean, considering the other greenhouses.
Okay, so what you saw over there was you have some of the product that's in veg state, right? So it wants a little bit more humidity. Here today, and again, depending on where you are, I think we talked about at the beginning of our tape here, is that depending on where the greenhouse is on the property, it gets a little bit, it has different thermals. Yes, so this one in particular today, they're trying to move a lot of air through here. But I want to keep mold from forming in here at the final stage of the flowering. Right? So that's why we have a lot of air moving through this facility.
What is the life cycle of a cannabis plant? From a clone to you're harvesting it. How long does it take?
Well, when you say clone, the clone incoming, we'll talk about it being a 9 to 10 week total process, because you have the veg state. We talked about the vegetative state back there, and then you've got another 6 to 8 weeks once they come inside of the greenhouse to go from the teenager, if you will. We talked about waist high through flowering, where you are here in the final stage.
What kind of output do you get per plant? I don't know if you can measure it that way.
We really, you know, the funny thing is a lot of people try to say, hey, what did you get off of this plant right here? It's very difficult to do that with 40,000 plants. You can basically weigh the output when you're done. I mean, we're not.
It's
40,000
plants.
Guys will say, oh, I've got a light here, and I'm going to get 3 pounds.
Yeah, 40,000 plants just out here doing the big. You know, shouts out to him. Let me clip that. 40,000 plants, though. He said, we ain't playing with you. We get it in.
First section of light, right? We grow and cycle our plants much faster, and we don't have the same intensity as I talked about. We don't have the climate controls here to boost these plants up. So in the summertime, you see them a little more on the heavy side. And so we talked about overall performance of each greenhouse. We're looking for somewhere between 5,000 to 7,000 pounds per greenhouse annually.
Gotcha.
Right, and that's how we target things here.
Gotcha. And what is the overall output of this entire farm currently with the greenhouses that are existing?
The we're set up here today is about 20,000 pounds annually.
Amazing.
And you know, some would say, okay, that doesn't seem like a lot of product, but when you talk about the economics of it, it's a really good cash flowing opportunity.
Now that we're on the economics, tell us a little bit, what is the average price you sell per pound? Do you sell it to wholesalers, distributors? What is this functioning of the current farm?
We've chosen with this farm, a lot of people would say, you could brand all the product here. We are not a brand provider. We are a wholesaler. We have one distribution partner. And so we go through our distribution partner, and they pick everything up, they package, they sell. And we think it's actually a much easier process to get to market for us. It's not as competitive in the way that we allow them to set the market rates for us.
Yeah.
So, you know, anywhere from good light depth or light assisted products should be anywhere from, on the low side this time of year, maybe $900 to $1,000. High season, $1,500 to $1,600, $1,800 for good purple product
per pound.
Per pound.
Gotcha. And where does that land this overall output level of
per
this farm?
pound.
Like in terms of revenue?
That's the scale.
Revenue stream for approximately, say,
he didn't say it was bad. He just said it
15 to
wasn't
22
light
million dollars,
product, about
depending
9.
on season, right?
Season.
And
Yeah,
how the market
anything
is.
under the
So
light, he
on the high
can
side,
charge up
$22
to
million.
18.
And you know, again, as you walk through and you've seen the attributes of the farm, keeping the cost low. Everybody wants to race to the bottom. You want to have $150 to say $250 a pound cost in this environment. That gives you obviously a very nice return. So
very nice return. Amazing. And that's with the current scale of this operation. with the opportunities this farm provides and what you can do with it, kind of sky's the limit, really.
Absolutely.
Although Brian's farm has been extremely successful, he still has plans to expand his operation to utilize the entire property.
So Inez, what we have back here is 2.5 acres of undeveloped land. What we're going to do though is add indoor space. What you have here is all light depth, and light depth material is kind of the middle market. We want to put a high-end indoor prefabbed, eco-friendly, so battery operated off the grid, and has 98% waste reduction for over the current greenhouses here. So somebody's going to have the opportunity to participate in that development with us, and we're really excited about it. So
amazing. And I'm assuming that's going to really add up to the value of this existing farm, right?
Absolutely. I think, today, if this is an $80 million site, we'd see it north of $100 million with that production, $125 million with that kind of production behind it. If you added in the additional indoor opportunity here, we're not only talking about more volume output of higher quality material than we already have here. That gets really exciting because you're talking about an additional $25 or $30 million in revenue with the same cost basis.
First 3 stages are done. What's our 4th stage?
We go to our curing room, our curing facility, and we'll go and look through there, and I'll tell you guys a little bit about it.
My most important question to you. Cannabis business is still not fully federally compliant. Federal government hasn't really accepted it. It is legal in California, and we're talking about a lot of money. I'm sure you have a lot of institutional investors, people wanting to get into this business, but how often do you get the question, is this even legal, or I don't want to be involved? What are your overall takes on the business?
Okay, that was a really early conversation, 2015, 2016, 2017. Fast forward to 2021, moving into 2022 quickly. The genie's out of the bottle. Every state is coming online. I mean, every year we talk about it, there's 2 more states coming on, 2 more states coming on. So I think it's more of a unique opportunity for somebody to come on board now, right? And not have to deal, like we said, with all this, with the startup blues, if you will, right? The harsh regulatory environment we're talking about all along this trip here.
Hold on, uncertainty.
Yeah, absolutely. And if sure, okay, Morgan Stanley, Chase, B of A, all these guys are going to eventually come around. And what this is sort of the last, I see this as one of the last great opportunities for people to jump on board while those regulatory environments kind of meet in the middle. You can sense just with the headwinds of all the states coming online and the banking relationships that are opening up for everybody, credit facilities are opening up. This is the time right now if you were, again,
to really get in.
To really get in, yeah, and not feel so threatened by Big Brother or whatnot coming down. What you have here is a 6,000 square foot, we painted it red because it was an old barn, but it's far from an old barn inside. We've added 6-inch DPS panels to insulate the barn so that we can create an environment that's perfect for curing the final product. So if you walk in here with me, Inez, you'll see that right now it's 72 degrees and 60% humidity in here. What we want to do is stay within right about 70 to 75 degrees, and we want it to be somewhere around 50% humidity.
Gotcha.
So when the plants are all hung in here, we can hang about 14,000 plants in here at a time. And you'll notice this is really just generic racking that we've added poles to, and we've got 4 heaters and some dehumidifiers in here to manage the extra moisture that's in the air when they come in. But for the most part, this is a perfect environment to produce really good product at a very low price.
Gotcha. It's currently empty right now because of your harvest cycle.
Correct.
But normally you have this place basically filled all these racks up. And how long does it take for the product to cure? It's ready to be packaged.
Perfect curing period is approximately 6 to 8 days.
Oh, that's it?
That's it, yeah. So when you guys...
And then you have all the humidifiers, everything running at that.
Correct.
Brian, this has been an amazing day. Me and Mikey have never toured anything like this. So thank you so much for showing us around, leading us on this industry. So
6 to 8 day hangs.
It's a
I
pleasure
usually
having
go
both of you.
ahead and
Mikey, you're
just
great. Really
bang out
enjoyed
a
spending the day
10.
with you guys. So thanks for being here.
Thank you.
But yeah, great curing conditions.
I was fascinated by meeting Brian and learning what it takes to operate a cannabis farm on the scale.
That's just for hanging though. They didn't actually say what they was curing as far as containers and shit like that. But y'all know what we use. Shout out to our slapped out cure buckets. We got an update on those coming up. Because, you know, we've been putting in that homework.
The industry is shedding its taboo reputation and becoming more mainstream every day, especially in states like California.
With the industry, I think it's just going to continue to kind of go up and up and up. And we're getting different investors. We're getting investors from Canada, Colorado, all over basically the country. And they all say to me, if you haven't made it in California, you haven't made it in the industry yet.
All right, everyone, that's it. I hope you learned a little bit about the cannabis business here in California and what it takes to run and operate an amazing farm like this. I want to give big thanks to the owner and the listing agent for inviting us here and allowing us to tour this truly one-of-a-kind property. And as always, you can find more information about the property down in the description of this video. Lastly, if you enjoyed the tour, just make sure to give us a like. If you want us to do more videos like this, definitely let us know in the comment section below. And we'll see you guys next week.
Shouts out to bro out there putting in that work in the field, getting those damn
more fun being rich and on the street, bro. It's a lot of shit to do, so I look at it like they got more gangsters in the stock market, they got more gangsters in government than gangsters on the street. Right. They just got more information than us. Just like Chico said, we just don't got the information. And so if we learn how to play that game, I use it the same way as I use the streets. And so what happens is once I started making money, I was like, oh, they don't really got, they're not really smarter than me, they just got information. So the goal for me was to just go get some more information. And when you come from the street, you ain't scared to lose no money. That shit come with the game.
So when you say earlier, when you like don't believe in what Google said, how do you get your information on that it's false information out there?
So I don't really go to Google for information. I go straight to the source. I go straight to them. So we gotta stop being scared to read too.
You already know the big homie who's gonna make a special guest appearance. Shouts out to DJ Ease. Y'all know to go check out his Buy Me a Coffee or his YouTube, whichever one you want to be fucking with, right? Appreciate the 5 thumbs up. Oh, we still got more videos to do. Damn, we got overtime today. We going in. I'm gonna have to put this on speed because it might get copyrighted if not.
Anybody else been fired recently? My two sons and my grandson and my godson, they're all here kind of to watch over me to make sure me and my big mouth don't squander no more of their inheritance. What they're here for.
He's back and funny as ever. Roseanne Barr joining us on the couch today. Welcome and happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's to you too. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You've got a brand new comedy special on Fox Nation and it's called Cancel This.
Yeah.
I don't quite say it the way you do. Tell us about it.
You want me to say it? Yeah. Cancel this.
Yes.
Well, it's kind of my explanation for what happened to me. I never got to have my say or to explain what happened or even to apologize for the mistake I made, to set it straight. So that's what I do in here in my special. And also, I try to be even more offensive.
So you're apologizing for one, but then you're bringing it on the other.
I'm bringing it because, I feel like I fell on the sword of the double standards of the left because I was the only one who got canceled. And when I look back at even the people at ABC and the things they've done and not been canceled for doing, which are far more egregious than the mistake I made, which I say in my special, was that I say that I racially misgendered a person that I assumed to be white. And when the network called me to say, what have you done? I said, I'm so sorry, but I assumed that this was a white woman. I assumed she was an Iranian woman. And they just ran with it. I guess they saw, because I supported President Trump or whatever reason they saw also an opening to take my show away from me. But the next day it was racist, which ruined my life and, made it unsafe for me to walk down the street. And they knew that I made a mistake, and yet they didn't allow me to go on any of their other shows or to explain it on purpose. And I felt like, oh my God, I'm being used by a political machine which has exposed itself over the, interceding 5 years since.
And now you say what to them?
I say you should have allowed me to go on your other news shows, particularly those ones hosted by people who have done blackface, and you never fired them. You should have let me go on there. Joy Behar did blackface. You didn't fire her. Jimmy Kimmel and his girlfriend Sarah Silverman, they did blackface, and you never even said it is wrong that you did that. And they just let that go.
Did people reach out to your friends, your colleagues when you were canceled and talk about the injustice, or once you were canceled, did everyone run away from you?
Yeah, everyone ran away from me except for my real friends, and they called me on the phone, which was funny, because when I first started my comedy career, I used to go to Hollywood parties, and women would come up to me and they'd go, I just want to say thank you for what you're saying about women. Because they were so terrified in Hollywood to support me for what I did. And it was just like that again. They were like, we just want to say we're so sorry, and we know you made a mistake and that you're not racist. But not in public, except for just a few, and a few very, very brave people, such as I want to say, the most brave being my friend Monique and other comics. Now I can't remember his name, but I gave him his first job, and he's a huge director, not Joss Whedon, but I can't remember.
It'll come to you. Roseanne, we were
the guy that directed 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Okay.
Him.
Yes.
He defended me too, but aside from those 2 or 3 people, everybody else was afraid. I don't say anything, but
Monique.
They're afraid. Everyone is afraid because it's a mob mentality, which is that other people who were canceled, they didn't lose everything like I did, but we all made a pact with other comics because we said, if we ever come back, let's be even more offensive. Because we have to, because we're pro-free speech and pro-American values, and if we come back and, namby-pamby it, we're not fighting. And comedy is supposed to be the thing that laughs, power to scorn, especially when it's corrupt. And this is why we became comics in the first place, is to go, no, we're not going to do that. And you know what? You're funny. You are funny, though. No, I mean, we're saying that to power. You're funny, and you're corrupt, and here's the jokes about it. And that's why we do it.
You talk about people whispering, kind of surreptitiously giving you support. Our president whispers a lot. I just want to
I thought it's That's true. You mentioned a moment ago, before we started, how long it had been since you had done stand-up. It had been almost 15 years in this country. So what does it mean, and what does it feel like to you to be back in your full glory, funnier than ever, more offensive than ever, and back?
Well, it was great. It was me embracing who I am in my politics, which is comedy. Because it is the last free speech art form. And it was me going, they're not going to have the last word about me. And I will have not only the last word, but I'll have the last laugh too. And I do believe that I did. And I made a joke to level all of their crap. I got jokes about the vaccine, the forced vax. I got jokes about the left. 3 of my daughters are very liberal. And I've lived it. I've lived their stuff that they think that I can barely contain myself with their stuff. Their privilege. I raised privileged children. I didn't grow up privileged, but my children did because of what I went through. And my whole generation, and we've raised privileged kids who don't have nothing to do with reality. So I kind of break them back down to reality. Wait a minute, what you talking about? What's your gender for? Get a job. They don't think nothing about reality, and they've been bred to do it by, you know, our media and our politicians that are bought and paid for by lobbyists. So I'm like, wait a minute, let's get real. I always said that when I was a comic. Let's get real. So I got real with all of it. And it's like, forget your privilege just for a minute and look at what's around you. Look what's in front of your face. And people have lost that ability to look at what's right in front of their face. So I brought it.
I'm not going to whisper at you. I'm going to look at you in the eye and thank you. Thank you for everything that you've ever done as a comedian. Because my role models growing up were you and Joan Rivers and Carol Burnett, because it was through humor, watching you do stand up on television, even like on the Tonight Show. I can remember what you were wearing your first appearance on the Tonight Show, but it was through particularly you and Joan Rivers. It taught me to be fearless.
That's so wonderful.
And it taught me the power of humor in even everyday life. It is a great sword and it's a great shield. And it also teaches you, if people can't laugh and if people can't laugh at themselves, you better not trust them.
That's right.
And you better avoid them like they are the bubonic plague.
They are.
Yeah. So I want to thank you.
You are so sweet. Thank you so much for telling me that.
And you keep doing it. And you keep preaching, because I've said humor and comedy and stand-up and you and all of the kids out there are the way out of this. Keep our speech free.
Thank you so much, and on behalf of all my friends, we thank you so much for seeing it and getting it. You've given me and all of them now, because they're all going to be watching and hearing it, have given us strength for that, and we need it. Because
Shouts out to
there's so many of us
Devo.
out
He
there
just went
can't
live.
get jobs
Y'all know
and
to go
been
check
canceled,
him out.
And we are, we're put here to, a lot of us feel like God put us here to like go against the people that are trying to enslave us and just go bam, 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 because as I've learned, you know how they say the pen is mightier than the sword? Well, the joke is mightier than the pen. And the spoken word and the joke, take it all down. All of it needs to be leveled, and we need to start over again. And when I'm always watching, I always love all your subject matter. I always love everything to hear women talking together about solving solving a problem in this country for a change. Thank you all.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News
Alright, get back to the regular play speed and go on to the next video. Shout out to Show Me Sasquatch. Y'all know the big homie Sassy did some artwork for your boy. He keep dropping me gifts. I appreciate that.
Give it gas when I'm dipping competition, get getting past, living fast, furious, staying on track, never worry when I'm spinning. Last better get in, back, ride from a dog, alphabeted on us, you gon' get it back, never split this pack. Whenever I witness cap, we ain't fucking with your fiction, facts, your conviction lacks. When I get up in my bag, I'ma spend, we ain't tripping off tax, clipping this tag, working on my wish list, cooking this cake, let me flip this stack. You a flash in the pan, while you relax in a can. My team finna pack the sedan, putting tracks in the sand, pushing my craft to the fan. Got the people all clapping their hands, putting cash in my brand, keeping my octane high. But not 8-9 or 8-7. Then when I run across the 8 line, I'm 9-1, I gun it. Clock great time when time comes. Disappearing in the dark horizon. Way I cut turns, I'm as sharp as diamonds. Got 'em on tilt like a car's alignment. This is raw refinement, not a hard assignment. I'ma give it gas, give it gas. Bitch.